How's it going, folks? I wanted to talk to you about the Stone Cold podcast with AJ Styles, live on the WWE Network. Well, I guess it's not live anymore because it happened last night after Monday Night Raw emanating from Phoenix, Arizona. So there was a couple of kind of cool takeaways from this. Well, first off, AJ Styles, dude. He's probably one of my favorite wrestlers of the current era. Current era from like what 2000 to present day. One of the guys that has long since vaunted a WWE contract. Well, I wouldn't say that because he was actually offered a contract in the early 2000s because he was a member of the WCW roster. And WWE did not pick up his contract. In all of the contracts that they acquired from the acquisition of WCW. So he went on his own way, and then I guess some years later, I wouldn't say some years, maybe a year or two later, he did get a developmental contract, but he turned it down just because he didn't want to uproot his wife from school, and so it's kind of cool. It's like a do-it-yourself type dude. He then went on to wrestle in TNA or Impact Wrestling. Not sure what it's called right now. I haven't watched in years. But it was kind of cool to see that they actually acknowledged TNA on the air. It shows of a philosophical shift because the WWE hadn't, for years, never mentioned any competition that they have as far as other wrestling promotions. Just because, from what you hear of Vince McMahon, he only watches his product. He doesn't watch any other wrestling or what have you. But it's been kind of cool, not just with AJ Styles, but Samoa Joe down in NXT, Gallows and Anderson, part of the Bullet Club with AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, one of the biggest stars in Japan, that you get to hear the origins of guys that aren't WWE guys, and given the respect and the shine that they've deserved. Stone Cold, a legend in his own right, gave AJ Styles the forum and respected, his stature as being a 17, 18-year veteran of professional wrestling. So it's kind of cool to see, one of the legitimately biggest stars, box office draws that wrestling has ever had. And him showing the respect to AJ Styles, but Stone Cold has that way about him where he's very engaging. If you have watched him wrestle, listen to his podcast, watch his movies, he's very engaging. So you saw that, and I'm glad that they took this route with AJ Styles, not only bringing him in, at his age. AJ Styles was quoted in saying that he's 37 years old right now. And this ride for him is just, he never thought it would happen. He thought he would retire in Japan or go to Ring of Honor. And right before he actually got the call from WWE, he was actually going to go back to TNA. And one of the reasons why he left, well, the major reason from what he stated in the podcast was because he was given a lowball figure for all of his work in TNA, and he didn't think it was right, so he went to Japan, and he killed it in Japan. So it was really cool to see AJ Styles' origins. They talked about his upbringing. His dad, a Marine. He was actually born in a Marine base in the Carolinas. I didn't know that about him, but it was really, really, really cool. And also, like I said, with Austin, he's a very engaging host. And I as a pro wrestling fan, I never thought that you'd see AJ Styles, a TNA guy, with Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the biggest, again, box office draws, headliner of the Attitude Era. So it was kind of cool to see him chopping it up. And man, you guys just have to watch it. And don't take my word for it. Go ahead, check out the WWE Network. It's $9.99, but the first month free if you haven't been a subscriber before. You get a laundry list of cool stuff if you're an old school wrestling fan like I am. Their archive is second to none. You get some WCW stuff, ECW stuff. There's even some Smoky Mountain, Mid-South Championship Wrestling. It's just really cool. So yeah, check out the Stone Cold podcast with AJ Styles on the WWE Network. This is Woods, and I'm out.